You're listening to The Straight Line on MRN.com, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts, parts, better prices every day. And also brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome into The Straight Line here on MRN, all presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Ralph Shaheen, Doug Herbert with you, and we're going to kick things off right away. We're going right to our guest line here today, and we got a big winner, the Capco car with Torrence behind the wheel, wins again.
But this is different Torrence.
Yeah.
This is Torrence Sr. we have here.
Yeah, Billy Torrence is the winner and joins us now. Billy, congratulations on career victory number 2.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. That was something else. Thank you so much.
Well, you guys, when you don't bring that car out at every race, but when you do, man, top speed of the meet over there, or actually low ET, number 1 qualifier, and then you go out there and win the race. It's not like you're just a part-time deal coming out there and kind of a bunch of weekend warriors. You guys are serious.
Well, I've got a really super team. I've got a few part-time guys that maintain my car, and then Steve's full-time crew. They have that car prepared, when we go out. So, I mean, it's as good a car as Steve has when they roll out there. And, if I can do a good job, I may keep that thing in the pictures.
Okay, so if the car is good, what does the driver have to do to get himself equal to the car then?
I'm still working on that, but it's you got to be. Steve gives me a lot of tips and on what I need to do and what to expect with different track conditions and actually what different people do that you race and all. I'm a good student and I listen and I've got my routine down and things have worked out well.
Hey, Billy, the qualifying got shortened up a little bit over there at Phoenix, but it didn't seem to affect you guys a whole lot, grabbing the pole and then going out there and running through the field on Sunday. How does that shortened up qualifying affect the team and the performance and your guys' data going into race day?
We were fortunate. We kind of had we had run on some similar track conditions and just hit the setup. Just were fortunate to hit it that first lap and then to come out the second lap, we knew we could get after it or thought we could. And, I kind of like that. I like that Saturday, Sunday format, truthfully and honestly. And, it was good. We just had a really good car. Walt and Jason were right on top of it. And Dom, followed through with all the crew guys. And we had a very well-prepared car, and we were up for those conditions.
So here we are just 2 races into the season, and you've already got a victory. What does that change to your plans for the rest of 2019? Does it impact it at all?
No, they've got me penciled in for 14 races, and we'll continue. And I'm, that's Mama Kay's race team, so I'm there by invitation only. And so that didn't change. That didn't change my schedule any. I'll set out the next race, and then I think I'll be back for Vegas and Houston, and they may even have me for Atlanta. But we'll continue. We're out there for an R&D car, but I think we've got our clutch program running it very, very similar to Steve, and I would race a few more races if Mama Kay would let me. But I call it the them and me race team.
Well, Billy, you got a full-time job running your business, doing plenty of other things, do the little sports car fun stuff. So it's not, this is kind of like your golf game, right? You go out and you race the car, and it's the fun part, but you've got to do all the other part to be able to keep doing this, right?
That's true. Yeah, I'm here at Capco every day, as is Steve. Steve is here before 6 every day, and that's part of the equation. If you're gonna play, you're gonna pay. So he's catching it. He's catching up on his dues, and yeah, somebody's got to be here. Those 2, they get to play a little more than I do, but I enjoy watching them. It's live entertainment to watch those 2 anyway.
You guys are having to compete against some pretty big teams and organizations out there, so I would assume the research and development program that you head up with your car is pretty important. I don't expect you to give away all the secrets, but tell us a little bit for the fans out there, what types of things that you might be doing on a race weekend with your car that maybe is different than what Steve's doing.
Primarily and you guys know what I'm talking about. The clutch disc program is the key to that, is the key to the success of that car. So you get the clutch disc worked out, and the order that they need to be installed, and get the wear down and the right levers, and that's probably what I did that at the first of last year, and Steve and them, they went right on through there and did well, and we're basically just, I think we've only changed one disc for this year. So I think we're probably at a good spot right now, and toward, as the track becomes hotter this year, probably try one more disc. But I mean, we're pretty set for the rest of the rest of the season right now.
Well, that's a good place to be with clutch discs, that's for sure. Hey, Billy, going into the final, you had lane choice over Leah. You went up there and you had to backpedal the car. Tell us a little bit about going into the final, having lane choice, if that mattered, and what it took to get down the track and win that round.
I was confident in my guys. We had went in there, and I knew that they were gonna swing for the fence, but because Okahara with Lee over there, that car right there is that's a really fast car, and you'll have to get after it. I thought that they probably would. So with all that said, we had a plan. I don't know what they were trying to run, but it was probably, I figured they were probably, mid to high 60 anyway. So we go up there, and the first thing I noticed, the sun's on the tree coming over the grandstands, and the track is in the shade, and the temperature's falling. So, I was looking at all that, and go up there and get after it. And sure enough, that dadgum, I never knew what happened to Leah, but my car got out there, I think about 40 feet, and really got to shaking. And I was instructed to get off of it quick and get back on it progressively. And that's what I did. And it gathered up and hauled butt. I was all the way down there. I'm thinking, I hope she don't come around. But, it was, I was certainly glad to see that wind light come on.
Billy, obviously you've had tremendous successes in your business life, in your family life, and now in your sporting life as well. How do you compare all those?
We've just been very blessed to be in the position we are, and we try to be humble. And help anybody we can, and keep a good straight attitude through everything we do. And it just seems like we just continue to go forward. The good Lord watches after us, and it's just every now and then I have to pinch myself, and if I get out of line, my wife gets me tuned up, and all three of us, we kind of bounce off of each other, and we keep ourselves grounded. And we've raced out there as a family forever, and I don't know what we would. I can't imagine not doing that, but it's where most of our friends / family are, and we have fun. We make it fun, and our business here at Capco, this is our 25th year. There are a good many people here that have been here the whole 25 years, and our race team is an extension of our family. And if you're ever around over there, you see that family atmosphere, and we have fun. Even the boys all call me. Every win that they have, I call each one of them individually on Monday and tell them how proud I am of them and for them. And so they called me yesterday. I just about teared up. That's something, but that's how we do it.
That is awesome. Hey, Billy, last year you got your first win over there in Brainerd. How did that prepare you for this second win, or how was this different? The second win any different than winning over there in Brainerd last year?
I was a little more prepared this time. I wasn't, I couldn't hear my heart beating over the engine, and that was a good sign. And it was, I was all day long. I just took it one day at a time and tried not to be overwhelmed. I actually probably had maybe a better car this weekend. That win at Brainerd, that was just our day. I mean, we broke, I don't know, 3 engines, I think, on the way to the final, and 2 of them we blew up on the warm-up, and rolled up there for the semis, didn't even warm the car up. So it was, but the pressure was on, and I'm a team player. I look at those guys, man. I do not want to let those guys down, and we were just able to get it done. I don't know that it's any more gratifying one over the other, but it's fun.
Well, it's a Torrence winning at the Arizona Nationals, Billy Torrence. And Billy, thank you very much for joining us here today. We look forward to getting you back on the show again soon.
I hope I'm on there more than you want me to be.
Congratulations on the win, Billy.
All right.
Thank y'all very much.
All right,
Thank
Billy,
you,
good
sir.
luck to you, and we will be right back with more of MRN's The Straight Line.
Thanks, guys.
If you do-it-yourselfers are looking for the right tool for the job, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale. You'll find a wide selection of Power Torque tools on sale now and guaranteed for life. Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale going on now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The 1993 Cup Series season was a year of triumphs.
Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500.
Nobody was talking. It was all in my hands as to...
And tragedies.
I remember Peter driving that truck around the track, going up the gate, leaving, and it's like, Alan's not going to be back.
Here's stories that you've never heard before in a 10-part series called The 1993 Season. 25 years later.
Dale Earnhardt wins the 1993 championship.
You can download all the shows for free on iTunes and at MRN.com.
The battle for the 2019 championship will be filled with twists and turns.
We got to kind of calm down for these speedway races because you can use the bumper, but you end up taking 10 other people with you.
Each weekday, NASCAR Today brings you the top stories in the sport.
That's a totally different experience for me and Cup.
In the garage, at the track, or behind the scenes, NASCAR Today keeps you up to speed every weekday.
Go for it. What do we got to lose? I don't know. I mean, you might as well try it, right?
Welcome back to MRN's The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Getting ready now to talk a little Pro Stock motorcycle because, Doug, those are going to be kicking off here real soon.
Well, yeah, here in a couple weeks at Gainesville, they're going to roll the Pro Stock motorcycles out. And we've got one of friends of mine for a long time in changing teams over to that Vance and Hines Screaming Eagle Harley Davidson. We've got Angelle on the phone. Man, that has got to be something you're looking forward to, Angelle. You've been competing against these guys for years, and now you're part of that team.
You know, everybody's been asking me if it's true. I've even had one fan on my social media that thought my social media page had been hacked because he didn't believe that I was actually racing with the Harley Davidson team. And I'm, you know, it's been over a month, 2 months. I don't know how long it's been now. It feels like forever since I've been preparing for this. But it still feels like I'm dreaming. Like, you know, please don't wake me up because if this is a dream, I don't want it to stop. But, yeah, these guys have been utter rivals of mine. I mean, I have wanted to kill them on the racetrack for many, many, many years. We've always had a really good respect for each other, you know, on the racetrack as well as off. But when we put our helmets on and we start racing against each other, I want to beat them and they want to beat me. And it's just so crazy that we're actually teammates now. But let me tell you, the rivalry has not changed. I still want to beat them just as bad.
Angelle, what was it that made this all happen? Why now?
The stars aligned for me. This is a 20-plus year career of mine. I've been involved with some outstanding teammates and teams over the years. Star Racing was a great one for me. Don Schumacher's team with the Army was outstanding. I really miss those guys. And then it just got to a point where we lost sponsorship, couldn't find any funding. I got sidelined. I actually retired in 2009, ended up having my little girl, thought my life was perfect. You know, I'm got a great husband. I got a beautiful little girl. I'm running my own business at home. Couldn't ask for anything more. And then I got the call to come back to racing. Really didn't want to interrupt my mommy life at home, but I thought it was a good chance to show my daughter what she could do if she sets her mind to something. So I went back, but it wasn't going to be a long-term deal for me. At least I thought it wasn't going to be. Ended up being full force back into the swing of things. And then once again, I got hit with that, lack of funding and wasn't going to be able to continue. So I was making my announcement that I was pretty much done, was leaving the team I was with last year. Didn't know what I was going to do, maybe just go do some motivational speaking or something like that. And I got a call from Andrew Hines, and he wanted to know if I could have a meeting with them. And we sat and talked about the possibility of me riding the third bike with the Harley-Davidson team. And at first, it didn't happen. We talked about it, and then it ended up falling through. It wasn't going to happen. I was devastated because I really wanted it. A couple of weeks later, Terry Vance calls me and says, "How bad do you want this?" And I tried to give him my child. I said, "Well, I'll give you my daughter. That's how bad I want this." And of course, he laughed and said, "Don't say that because I'll take her." And I was like, "Well, I mean, really, that's how bad I want it." That was the first thing that came to my mind. But of course, I wouldn't give up my baby girl for anything. But so he's like, "Well, how about this? We're going to put you on the bike for 4 races and see how you do." And since that day, that conversation with Terry Vance, I can't even describe my emotions. I am so excited. I have been training so hard. I've been working out in the gym harder than I ever have in my life. I feel like I'm dreaming. I'm hyperactive. I can't sleep. I mean, it is crazy. I cannot wait to do this.
Angelle, this is a different bike than you've ever ridden before. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing to prepare for that bike, and have you guys been doing any testing so you can get a little bit of a feel for it before you go to Gainesville?
Yes, I had to make a trip to Vance and Hines in Indianapolis to get fitted for the motorcycle because, it wasn't built for me. They had to change a lot of things. We rearranged the handlebars and the foot pegs and everything that I need, the shifter button, the clutch, the brake, everything had to be moved around. And just sitting on the motorcycle, I was really nervous and very overwhelmed because it feels very different. But they did get it to where I was comfortable sitting on it. So we went out to Phoenix, Arizona for the test session right before Pomona. I made about 12 laps on it. The first day, I was scared to death. Like, I really didn't think I was going to be able to do it. The bike is so powerful. I've never felt this kind of power before. The way it leaves, the way it pulls in every gear. One of the biggest differences is the lack of fairing that I'm used to having on the Suzuki and the Buell, where the wind is blocked from hitting me. We don't have that on the Harley-Davidson Street Rod. There's a little windshield, so I feel more of the wind. It's not bad. I don't feel any danger, but it's such a totally different feeling than what I'm used to. I feel the wind hitting me, so it makes me feel like I'm doing 300 miles an hour instead of almost 200 miles an hour. So that's something that I'm going to have to get used to. But the torque and the way this bike pulls is so powerful that my core strength has to be better. So as soon as we finished that test session, I got back into the gym. I'm working out 6 times a week now, usually 4 days a week, 2 times a day when I can, doing a lot of strength and core training, a lot of circuit training, and just trying to be the best me that I can give them, because I know Vance and Hines and Harley-Davidson is going to give me the best that they have, and I am determined to give them the best that I have.
Well, we got a lot more to talk to Angelle Sampey about here, and we're going to come right back. The winner of 42 career national events. Angelle is going to stay with us. We're going to have more right here on the Straight Line.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there. Whether you're running on dirt or running a job, our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
If you've been delaying needed maintenance like changing your oil, replacing headlight bulbs, or installing new brake pads, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and put your tax refund to work. Our professional parts people will help you get more mileage from your refund and avoid costly repairs down the road. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You hear it every week.
Just want to thank the whole team and all our guys back in Denver. Everybody supports this team.
They're the unsung heroes of NASCAR, and their life is the pits. This is Rocco Williams, and for 10 years, I've jacked up some of the biggest names in auto racing, and now I'm jacked to bring it all down to street level and acquaint you with the guys behind the wall and back at the shop. Join me on MRN Crew Call, presented by Money Lion, every Wednesday on MRN.com, iTunes, or wherever podcasts are found.
Well, you're listening to The Straight Line on MRN, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. Ralph Shaheen and Doug Herbert here with you. And joining us on our line, our celebrity line, Angelle Sampey, the winner of 42 career national events. And Angelle, if I remember correct, Dave Schultz has 47. So you are right on his exhaust pipe. Now you're telling us you have 4 runs or 4 events at least guaranteed with the Harley team. What do we got to do to get that for a full season so you can catch the legendary Dave Schultz?
I think he has 45, but I'm not sure. But the people that I have in mind right now is Eddie and Andrew, who have, Andrew has 48. I think Eddie has 47. Dave has 45, and I'm trailing behind with 42. So yes, I've already discussed with Eddie and Andrew how I have to win the first 4 races, whether they like it or not. And I've reminded them that, don't worry, I can win all 4 races and I still won't have caught you. But then we can have a really good fight the rest of the season if you guys give me the opportunity. So, of course, they laugh and say, you're not winning the first 4 races. We are. Like I said, the rivalry is still really there. But and Terry Vance has reminded me, I think Terry understands, since he was a driver, he understands the pressure that I'm feeling right now. So he keeps reminding me that he just wants me to go out there and do the best I can and have fun with it. And that if I screw up at all 4 races, that doesn't mean they're not going to keep me on the bike. There's a much bigger picture we're looking at here. But I am the type of person, I'm going there with the intention of number 1 qualifier, going 200 miles an hour and winning the race, and I will accept nothing less.
Wow.
So that's what I have to go there for. That's how I'm built, and hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe we'll get one of them or all of them or get close to it. But I wanted to say, Doug, I know I'm talking a lot and not giving y'all a chance to ask me anything, but being a part of this team, personally how awesome this is for me. Terry Vance has been an idol of mine since I was a little girl. And after what he just did for brakes with donating that $1 million, that's the kind of people I'm involved with. And I wanted to say, I wanted to bring that up again, that I'm just so happy to be a part of it, to be surrounded by people like this. And I'm so proud and happy for you that Terry did that.
Oh, thank you. And how what a great guy, to be able to work with a guy like that. He's an amazing individual. And I was so happy to see you on the starting line at Pomona when he made that announcement. And I reached around and I flipped you up in the air. You're probably like, man, put me down, you bigaloo,
He told me about it the night before we went to lunch or dinner with the team, and he told us that he was doing that, and I was so touched, and I'm so happy for you. I just had to say that.
Well, thank you, because you've been there at a lot of our events over the years, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate your love and support over the years,
thank
too.
you.
You've been a really nice friend, and I sure appreciate it.
Okay, I checked with our research department, and you're right. Andrew Hines has 48, and Eddie has 47. So you're right there in making some history happen here. You talked about how the bike is different with the lower windscreen. How is it going to make you change your riding style?
I have to be really quick on getting tucked in as soon as I leave. I have to be super fast with correcting if I need to. Fortunately, these motorcycles are built so precisely. The guys back at the shop, Matt Hines and Busa Mike, they do such an outstanding job. I know I'm forgetting some people. But anyway, they do such an outstanding job at building these motorcycles to go really straight. And I'm hoping I never have to lean outside of that windshield. Scott was the other guy I was trying to think of. But if I do, that's when it gets kind of scary, because when there was that big windscreen that I could kind of move my shoulders out from behind and correct the motorcycle if it was going to the right or the left, it wasn't as tough. But I felt this one, if it started going to the right a little bit and I had to move myself over, I could feel the wind even more. And that's something I don't want to have to deal with. So if I do start drifting to the left or the right, I'm going to have to fix it so fast so that I don't have to hang off too much. And one of the reasons why that's a big deal for me is because of my size. When you have a bigger guy like Andrew and Eddie, they can just shift their weight a little tiny bit and the bike comes right back. But I'm so much smaller, I'll have to move my whole body off the side to correct it. So that's one thing I'm going to be focusing on, is just being really quick on my corrections, staying really tucked, being right on time with my shifts, and slowing down as carefully as I can, because that's another thing that gets crazy with no windscreen.
Well, you've had a lot of Angelle, you've had a lot of success over the years, that I've seen you racing. But with George Bryce and the Star Racing guys and the rivalry that you used to have with Matt Hines, it seems like that you guys got pretty tense at times. So now, how does it feel like you could sit down at a team meeting and there's Matt and Eddie and Andrew and all these guys that you were really fierce competitors with?
Yeah, I have to say that probably was the most real and the biggest rivalry was between myself and Matt Hines. I mean, I can honestly say that there were times that me and Matt really did not like each other. We had some words with each other off the racetrack, and it could have gotten really ugly if we wouldn't have had people there stopping us. But that was just passion. That was 100%. He wanted to win as bad as I wanted to win, but the respect was still there. We might have gotten mad. We might have said some things to each other. And I know for a fact now, and I've always wondered it, and I'm so happy to finally know what that team genuinely thinks of me. Because all these years, I thought they hated me. As a matter of fact, when they brought me to Indianapolis to get fitted for the bike, I was a little leery that there was something weird going on, that they might be trying to sabotage me, kill me, do something to me. It wasn't a real genuine, oh, you're going to be a teammate now. So I had to kind of go in there a little fearful. But the amount of respect that I was shown from everybody in Vance and Hines, and now that I'm seeing how bad they really want this and how hard they're working for me, I truly believe that there always has been a level of respect there. And Matt and I got along great at the race shop. We went to lunch with the whole team. I sat right next to Matt. We didn't try to stab each other, not one single time. I mean, we had a great lunch. And I guess, like I said, I'm going to keep that rivalry between me and my teammates because it's good for the sport. It's good for me as a competitor. And, but I'm going to enjoy the heck out of being on this team because after 20-something years, I finally feel like I've reached the pinnacle of the sport as far as pro cycle motorcycles is concerned because I have never seen this kind of professionalism these guys have their stuff together. I mean, they are on top of the game, and now I completely understand why they're so hard to beat.
Man, I'm fired up.
I know. You
got me all fired up. I want to go ride.
I don't know if you guys have seen any of the pictures I've posted, but it just looks badass.
It does.
I mean, what's better than a Harley Davidson and the way the marketing department runs all their ads and their colors and their uniforms? Everything just looks outstanding. I'm so proud to have it. I can't wait for you guys to see the posters we're going to be signing at the races. Keeping my fingers crossed for some really cool apparel. I don't know what's going to happen with that yet, but I just think it could be really big.
Well, now they've got a hot girl riding a Harley, too. Like, how much better does it get than that,
Yeah, and look, they've been so awesome. They've even let me bling out my leathers, which I wasn't sure they were going to let me do. But they said that's my trademark. I'm the one that has the rhinestones on my leather, so I've been slowly adding it to them. So you're going to see some really shiny orange leathers out there, but they're also going to have that Swarovski crystal bling to go along with it.
That's awesome, man. I'm all fired. I'm going to go get my Harley out of the garage this afternoon. Angelle, congratulations. We're really excited. I know the fans are really excited to see you on a Harley Davidson, riding it to another victory and chasing the record books. We look forward to seeing you in Gainesville.
Thank you guys for having me so much because I just love talking about this. So anybody else that wants to talk to me about it, just let me know.
Okay. Hey, we're going to be right back to wrap up the Straight Line after this.
O'Reilly.
Save on your next oil change with 5 quarts of Castrol GTX high mileage motor oil and a MicroGuard filter on sale now for the same price as Castrol conventional for just $26.99. Improve engine performance in your vehicle with Castrol motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi folks, Mike Bagley here. At MRN, we rely on equipment from Racing Electronics.
Joey Logano to the lead on the back straightaway.
Racing Electronics has scanners and headphones. We can listen to every uncensored conversation between driver and crew.
You won the championship, baby, yeah!
And when we need live audio, in-car cameras, and up-to-the-second statistics, we use their latest handheld unit called Legend. To learn more about these products and many others, visit racingelectronics.com. Racing Electronics, the official two-way communication partner of MRN.
Victory Junction was young race driver Adam Petty's dream. He worked toward building a camp where children with serious medical conditions could concentrate on fun and not their illness or disease. When he died tragically, his family and friends around NASCAR made sure that dream came true. Today, Victory Junction is a camp that provides fun, life-changing experiences to children dealing with illnesses and disabilities, all at no cost to the camper. Help us serve more children by visiting victoryjunction.org.
Welcome back. Hope you got off your motorcycle after talking to Angelle like we did. Man, she's all excited. She's got so much going on. It is really cool to hear. And I can just imagine in the marketing department of Harley-Davidson, they're probably freaking out right now. Can't wait to get her going.
I guarantee you they are. You know, she's a good marketing partner to have. And I think for Harley-Davidson, for the Vance and Hines teams. And you know what? She's a really good motorcycle rider.
She is.
So, you know, just her size, I mean, she was talking about, she's 5 feet tall and probably weighs 90 pounds soaking wet. So they're going to probably add ballast to that bike to get it to, you know, minimum weight with her on it.
Right.
That's an advantage.
That's huge, right?
Yeah,
you get to move that around.
Right. You can move that around, put it where you want. She's more streamlined too, right? She can get down there tighter on the bike.
Really interesting what she was talking about when she said, you know, with the lack of the windscreen on the street rod, how the wind is going to be such a different animal for her.
Well, yeah, and her being so small is probably an additional advantage there, I would think. I mean, you know, Eddie's probably not all that big. He's maybe 5'8" or 5'9", but Andrew's 6 feet tall, you know, so
yeah.
he's a you know, pretty good sized guy for riding a pro stock motorcycle, you know. And then we got poor old Steve Johnson, pro stock motorcycle. It looks like a scarecrow. So
yeah.
You know, having her that she's kind of really muscular and 5 feet tall and 90 pounds, that's an advantage riding one of those pro stock bikes. I think that's, you know, not to diminish anything away from her abilities, because I think she has excellent, you know, racing skills and abilities, reflexes, all that. But just her build is an advantage in itself.
Quick work by our research department here on the old iPad. Eddie Krawick, 5'8", 150 is his playing weight.
So I was pretty close.
Pretty close. You could never ride that bike.
No, I mean, I would look like, you know.
Oh, don't worry. We've all envisioned it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would
We
look
can
like
all
that guy.
see
You remember
it.
that old Burt Reynolds movie where the guy drove with his head sticking out the
Yeah.
roof? That'd be me. You know?
That'd be you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me. I don't like go-kart racing. I look like, you know, Herman Monster
Yeah.
driving a go-kart. Same thing, you know, riding a Harley. I've got a big road glide, and I look about right, you know, riding on a road glide, but riding on a V-Rod. I used to have a V-Rod, and I look silly riding on the V-Rod. The V-Rod's too small.
You know what I always say? I ride a Harley-Davidson Fat Boy because you are what you ride.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey.
So you got two Harley guys right here. I mean, you know, how much more?
I
There's
get plenty of
nothing
me
more
gets
fun.
out in the wind. Don't worry.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I mean, trust me, I'm the same. Usually what gets caught in the wind with me is my teeth. I catch bugs in it while I'm smiling along because I'm so happy, you know.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's fun.
Hey, let's sell some tickets, why don't we? Emily and the Gator Nationals coming up. That is going to be the 50th anniversary of that fantastic event, and that is March 14th through the 17th. That's the next stop on the 2019 Mellow Yellow Tour.
A lot of events going to happen down there at the Gainesville race. That would be definitely a good one to not miss, with all the legends racing that they're going to have.
Yep.
Big Daddy, Don Perdome, Shirley Muldowney, Terry Vance.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to be a really, really neat show.
Go to nhra.com, click on the red ticket tab in the top right, get your tickets, and come on out to the drag. It's going to be a good time. Did you see Snake's Camry painted up? He put it up on his Twitter feed.
Like an Army car.
Like the
didn't
Army
it?
car.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Well, and, you know, Perdome is cool. And Terry Vance was like the old Vance and Hines
Right.
motorcycles that he raced. And, you know, Big Daddy's, Shirley had the cha-cha, you know, deal. I mean, that's going to be pretty fun. I mean, it's not exactly like racing top fuel cars or pro stock motorcycles, but it is going to be pretty cool. I'm sure you're going to see some deep staging and some playing around, and they're going to have quite a bit of fun with each other, I'm sure.
Speaking of fun, let's do some red light, green light. What do you think?
Okay, red light, green light.
Yeah.
Well,
red light, green light, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. So let's go first. You stage up with the green light.
Well, the green light, our producer Daryl kind of came to me. I don't know. The green light, the only thing we can say is there was not repeat winners. So nobody is running away with a championship with only 2 races into it. So I'd say there's our green light.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that. I mean, it's a great way to start the season off. And as you head into Gainesville, a couple of weeks away, I don't really see anybody else that I think is going to quickly double up. I mean, I think everybody else is just as competitive and can certainly win.
I think so. Yeah, the classes are, you know, certainly the nitro classes are
pretty balanced.
They're as tough. The top 10 is as tough as it's ever been.
Yeah.
You know, you could say, well, the field gets soft. It used to be 30 top fuel cars show up at a race, and Now they fill the field, and maybe there's a couple extra. But those top 10 cars are really, really tough. So winning a race is as competitive as ever. And that's more of a testament to Billy Torrence coming out to a couple races. In the last 6 races, he's only raced probably 2 or 3 of them or whatever, and coming out and winning a race, pretty good testament to that whole Torrence
that organization team. For sure. Okay, how about a red light? What do you think?
Okay, red light. I would say for a red light, for anybody that watched the Arizona Nationals last weekend, J.R. Todd goes to the starting line, funny car final, has lane choice, and some kind of mechanical difficulty, and the shutdown system, went off on his car. I'm guessing they had a ignition backfire or some kind of engine problem off the starting line. And, what can you say? Matt Hagan went down the track, ran well, but it wasn't a red light, but that was a pretty big. That was the only really kind of faux pas that I could think of for the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, Tommy Johnson. There's another red
TJ's deal
light.
was crazy too, right?
Yeah.
To see that thing just sheared off like that and then bouncing down the racetrack.
Yeah, a rear axle braking going 300 miles an hour. Andy got the wind light, but it shredded the body off the car. Somehow, he managed to keep the car shiny side up, or what was left of the shiny side stayed up. So yeah, that was definitely, I think, probably the 2 red lights that I could think of over there this last week in Phoenix. But it looked like some good racing. Some weather on Friday got a little bit washed out, but the racing on Saturday, Sunday was good. Times were fast. Good deal over there.
I like it. Okay, with that, we're done. That's it for this edition of MRN's The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. For Doug Herbert, I'm Ralph Sheen. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.